All right, so in this tutorial, we're going to learn how to set up a Google form with your learning goals and then link it to the Google Sheet that you previously prepared using tutorial 1. So you need to get a Google form. They're not very hard to make. You can just open a new tab, type in forms and new, and one will open up for you. So I'm going to call this form sample 3U expectation based assessment, and then I'm going to call it template because I'm not creating it for a specific course. I'm creating something that I'm going to copy every time I need one or every time I start a new course. So the first question that you're going to create in your Google form is a checkbox question, and you're just going to call it student name. For your template, I'm just going to put in student 1, student 2, student 3, and student 4. And when you create this for your actual class, you're going to need an option for every student. And I usually put in their full names. And I usually do it alphabetically by last name. So the order that they're in matches Markbook. Then you're going to add another question. And for this question, I'm going to call it assessment. And I'm going to turn it into a drop down. We added this question to our form because we like to be able to track where the marks are coming from. So I'm going to say quiz, I'm going to say process, or teacher observation. I'm going to say lab report, conference, unit test. As I move through the course, sometimes I put specific items under here. So I might actually write Half-Life assignment. It does not matter how many options you put in this drop down, so you can continually add options throughout the course and it will not impact the function of your form. What will impact the function of your form is if you add any new questions or new learning goals after you start using the form. So after we have assessment here, I'm going to add a title because the title adds a really nice band on your form, and I'm going to use it to break up my unit. So I'm going to go unit A, and from my learning goals, it was investigation. So I'm just going to go investigation. And after that, I'm going to hit the plus sign to add a question. And I'm going to make the question a multiple choice grid. So this question is going to become my first overall expectation: investigation skills and career exploration, or investigation skills. I'm going to click copy, and I'm going to put paste. I'm going to get career exploration out of here.
You're talking again.
Okay, so then the best way to get your learning goals in your form is to go to this place where you have written them, this document, select them all, hit Control C, go to your form, put your cursor in this row 1 spot and go Control V, and they're going to load automatically. In the columns, you're going to put, you might have to delete row 1. Sometimes row 1 just magically appears. In the columns, you are then going to add your levels. We've split level 4 into 5, and we went up by 0.5. In some courses, in our junior courses, in our senior courses, we've actually gone up by 0.25. So our 3U actually was 0.75, 4.5, 2.5, not 2.5, 4.25, 4, and then 3.75, 3.5, all the way down. Okay, so I have here all of my possible levels. So 5, we've deemed 5 just like 100% perfect. Anything between 4.5 and 5 is a 90, and between 4 and 4.5 is an 80. And then we go down to 2, 1.5, 1. We put a 0.4 in to indicate that there's something there below a level 1, but not a 0. We have a 0, and we have NA. And we put the NA in case you accidentally click a learning goal you didn't mean to. You can then select NA, and instead of having to reload your form. It's kind of something we learned the hard way. So once you have one question ready, you are then going to copy your question by clicking that button, and you're going to go back to your learning goals, and you're going to copy the next set for that unit. So I've copied that. I'm going to copy that in here. I'm going to go back to my sheet. The only learning goal here is A6, so Control C. Open my sheet, put my cursor in row 1. I'm going to Control V, paste it in. Then I'm going to delete any of the extras that I don't need. I'm just going to go through this process and create a question for each overall expectation, adding the learning goals that meet that overall expectation as the rows. And by duplicating the question down here, you only have to enter this column in once. So I'm done learning goal A. I'm going to add another nice banner by adding a title, and I'm going to go Unit B. From my learning goals, I'm going to copy matter, chemical bondings, and trends. I'm going to paste that in. I'm going to select a question up here. I'm going to copy it, but you can see that it's copied above my banner, and I don't want that. So I'm going to click these 6 dots, grab my banner, and move it above the question that I have a duplicate of. So now I'm going to copy in my learning goals for Unit B. Control V in here, Control V. Make sure, for some reason, it always adds row 1. Make sure you delete that out. So I'm just going to hit pause, and I'm going to add all of my learning goals into this form using exactly the same process that you've seen me do.